This video, you're going to be learning how to use the head and shoulder pattern to enter trade properly. All right, this is one of the most reversal strategy you can ever find in the forex market as a trader. Now, your ability to be able to master this head and shoulder pattern and apply it properly in your entry, you are going to become one of the most profitable trader in the industry. I guarantee you. All right, this video is going to help you to understand how you can actually wait for this head and shoulder pattern to form and also use it to cash entries like this one you see here. All right, also entries like this one and also this one. All right, I've used this pattern so well, master it to the point whereby whenever I see this pattern play out in the market, I will just go ahead and execute my trade. And I can tell you, I can show you countless trades that I've taken with this head and shoulder pattern. Now, I want you to stick with me on this video and learn this pattern for yourself. All right, so if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do where to subscribe and also follow, share, like. If you're learning something from my videos, please type in the comment section that you are gaining knowledge, so the algorithm controlling YouTube will actually notify a lot of people to be able to watch this video. My name is Pips FS, and this is my YouTube channel where I share free forex education. You will not regret subscribing to this YouTube channel because you're going to be learning a lot as a trader. All right, so let's go into the video. Now, head and shoulder pattern is a formation or a reversal formation that a lot of traders that are successful actually use in taking amazing trade. All right, like I showed you, you saw the trade I've used this pattern to trade, and I've been making profits with it. And I believe if you can master it, you're going to become a profitable trader. So for example, before you can actually master the strategy, you must know how to use mark your market structure properly. All right, so if you don't know how to mark your market structure, I have a video on this channel that's going to help you understand market structure. So what do I mean? For you to be able to understand market structure, you must know that in an uptrend, the market will create a series of lower, higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher lows. All right, but trust me, the market do not move in a single line like this. All right, but you must understand that the markets move with a different pattern. But what am I trying to say? If you understand structure as a trader, you're going to be able to know when the market has shifted in structure to form a head and shoulder pattern. All right, for example, let me give you the appropriate picture on how the market actually moves. So we have an uptrend, price move, creates a high, and come back, create all these internal structure which are the pullbacks. And what do we see? We see price break the high to create another higher high. Then we see some sort of pullback again, and price came back to maybe any level again and break structure to create a new high. Now notice that we are in an uptrend in this kind of market condition. Now the point you have to focus on when this market is going to be creating a head and shoulder pattern is when price broke structure, which is price taking out this low that created this high. So let's see how price will move. Let's say maybe price move this way and move this way and come back and get to this level, and we see price do something like this. All right, now we can safe to say price has what? Broken structure by trading below this low that actually created this high. All right, now what you need to understand is whenever we have a shift of structure, we are already having the head and shoulder pattern forming in the market, because it's a sign of a reversal in the forex market. Okay, so for example, this level here, all right, is going to be our first shoulder, and this highest point that we have here, all right, is going to be our head, and this break of structure that we have at this level, all right, I'm going to be marking all this thing, but I just want you to see this break of structure that we have at this level. The low that was created before we have that break of structure, which is more like the point of liquidity, is going to be seen as our next shoulder. All right, so whenever we have this formation, we already have a head, a shoulder, a head, and a neck. Now, how do you use this entry, or how do you use this to take a trade? You just wait for price. Since we break structure at this level, we expect price to trade back to give us another what? Higher, lower high. And at this level, we can save to what? Take our trade, because we believe that price is going to be creating another lower low. But immediately the trade may not just get to this level and start coming. So you can now narrow yourself down to the lower time frame. Once price came back to this point, so come and take out this level, use it as liquidity. You cannot just wait for some sort of market shift, all right, to give you an extra confirmation. Then you take your trade when you see this kind of pullback, and you target price to trade down. Now, this is how you can use this head and shoulder. Now, another thing you need to understand is, to apply this head and shoulder pattern, you must look for a resistance level or a support level, right? So on my next video, I'm going to be making video to explain resistance or support level, key resistance in the market, all right? Because sometimes this could create some sort of fake out if it is not in the right zone. So you need to look for those specific zone that price has traded to, and when you see this formation of head and shoulder pattern, you will be able to do what? Take this trade and do your 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio and make some profit out of the market. So for example, like I said, this will become our left shoulder, and this will actually be the head, which is the highest point that the price created. And we notice how price broke structure. Notice it's after the shift of market structure that we are safe to say that we have a head and shoulder formation. All right, and now before we broke this structure, remember price creates a certain liquidity zone around this level, making it our next shoulder before the break of structure. Now we just need to wait for price to trade back to this level to use this zone as what? Sweep of liquidity. All right, and we can save to do what? Take our trade around this level for a sell market. You cannot do this and target this low to go, and your stop loss will just be above the head. All right, and you can save to do what? Look for 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio depending on your risk. So you can still see that this is the shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. All right, so we have the left shoulder, we have the head, we have the right shoulder, and at the right shoulder, that is where we are looking for possible sell entry in case of market condition that we are looking to sell. Now the reverse is the case. All right, for a bullish market, how do you want to use this head and shoulder pattern for a buy market, which I'm going to also be showing you another pair that I use this pattern to trade, which I believe is going to also help you. So for example, we are having an upward movement, a bearish market, whereby we have price trading down, all right, creating a series of internal pullback, and we have price break further to give us a low, and we see price come back again, create that kind of movement, and from there we see price come and do what? Break structure to the downside. Now notice this is our higher high, all right, our lower high that created this lower low. Now price traded all the way to create maybe form of equal lows, pull back, and give us a shift of market structure. All right, now notice when we have this shift of market structure by breaking this level, remember this is the liquidity point that is created before we broke this level. So remember, we can safe to say this is our left shoulder and this is our right shoulder, and this is our head. Now we are not expecting price to trade back to this zone. All right, take out this right shoulder that is formed and give us a sort of a confirmation that price has achieved structure as well. Then we can look for an entry when we see a pullback, and we target this level for our possible profit zone. So look at how the price also have been able to form a head and shoulder. This is our left shoulder, and we have the head here, and we also have the left shoulder here that price came up to, the right shoulder. And if we are to look for a possible entry, we are going to be what? Taking our trade, our stop loss a little bit below the head, and we can do 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 using this same pattern. So you can safe to say that here is our left shoulder, all right. We have the head, and we have the right shoulder. All right, so that is how to look at for this formation. And remember, we must have a shift of market structure. All right, now for you to understand market structure properly as a newbie, and you are lost when we are talking about break of market structure, like I said, I have a full video that explains break of market structure, that talks about the higher highs, the higher lows, and the lower high and the lower lows. All right, so if you need to actually understand this head and shoulder pattern very well, you must first learn how to read or mark market structure properly, which I have a video that you can also see on this channel. Watch that video and learn this. So let's go to the chart. Let me show you. Notice this formation here, and also notice this formation. Now if we come here, this is what actually happened. We see the left shoulder, we see the head, we see the right shoulder. After price what broke structure at this level and created a low, price pull back at this level, you can take a clean trade anything that you see, because remember I told you that when the shoulder, head and formation form, when price come back to this level, we should look for some sort of shift of market structure before we take an entry, and that is what also happened here. And when this price pull back, it's safe for us to what enter this trade and make sure our stop loss is be above this shoulder, above the head, like I said. And when you take a trade, you end up having a sniper entry like this. And also that is what happened here as well. We saw how price was trading upward, and we have the left shoulder, we have the head. Price broke structure at this level, and pull back and give us a sort of shift of market structure here again, and we'll take this trade. Also, same thing happened on this very trade. We saw how price created the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, all right, broke structure and give us a pullback, and we took this trade, and you can see how profitable this trade become. Now let's look at another pair, which is GBP SND. Which I also use this pattern to cash a buy entry. All right, and we can safe to say this is the entry. All right, so we saw how price was trading down. All right, price created the left shoulder here, left shoulder here, and we have the head, which is this level, which was our lowest point, and we have the right shoulder just at this level, and notice when price what came back after we broke structure at this level, came back and took out the left shoulder. That is when I actually took this trade, and you saw how beautiful this trade went. I actually called this trade in my Telegram channel. So if you are not in my Telegram channel, I've added a link to my Telegram channel just in the description button on this video, which you can click and join my free Telegram channel, where I drop free signal over time. And also when I'm going live on TikTok or here on YouTube, I actually notify the people in my community that I'm doing that via my Telegram channel. So if you find some value from this video, I would like you to leave your comments, subscribe, and share with people that you know that are struggling to master the art of trading. If this pattern is the only pattern you were able to master as a trader, I guarantee you are going to be making money from the forex market. So stick to my channel. I'll be dropping subsequent video on this pattern and other strategy that I use to trade the forex market. So if this makes sense to you, subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thank you, and see you on my next video.